We've all been struggling to grow on IG recently. My growth has been pretty much stagnant for the past 8 months. So I thought, you know what? Let me take it upon myself to be more active in the art community and do some art challenges for some recognition. And by that, I basically mean mooching off people with more followers to see if I could get anything. And what a better challenge to partake in than draw this in your style. DTI-wise, the one challenge that gives you imposter syndrome because what even is my style? And I entered 6 over the last month. And I mean DTI-wise of all sizes. Old ones that had no deadline. The active ones that had people with 5K, 100K, and even 1.4 million followers. Was it all worth it? Well, to answer that, let me just take you through what happened. To test the waters, I first started off with the inactive one that had no deadline since there would be no competition and I would be more likely to be seen by them. Who's them, you may ask? QT Cosmo. I have a good sized following, so if I were to be reposted by them, it would be huge. So for my piece, I decided I really wanted to focus on drawing folds because at the time, I really liked drawing folds. So I gave her new clothes to be able to show that off. Also, I didn't really like her color palette, so I made it more muted to fit my style. And other than that, I tried to keep it close to the original. And so I posted it, almost naively expecting to get noticed right away. Nope, there was nothing but crickets. Just my usual 30 likes. So, to be fair, this was a really inactive one. But it kind of made me want to stop completely and do my own drawings. Until one day I woke up and I saw that Ross Draws announced he was hosting a Draw This in Your Style challenge with cash prizes. People with that many followers don't host Draw This in Your Style challenges that often, so I had to get in on this. I couldn't just walk in there all willy-nilly. This was a huge competition, so I had to scope out the comp. So I waited a week before I even started drawing. For my piece, I was conflicted on what vibe I should go for, cool action poses that most people were doing, or if I should go for the kawaii aesthetic route because not only just an art competition, but a style competition. Of course, I decided to go with my weaker suit and I chose to be cute and aesthetic. And I was pretty glad about how it came out. I could have done better, but you know, it was a pretty solid piece. I reached a whole 128 non-followers, but only got 37 likes. We'll just have to wait till the results are posted to see if I won or not. I spent quite a bit of time on Ross Draws DTI-wise, and it kind of burnt me from doing them as a whole. I was planning to quit this challenge early, but Instagram kept on suggesting me draw this in your style challenges at my feeds. I called it fate. I decided to continue when I saw Pull Luxury was hosting. And I was already tired, so I thought, you know what, let me just grab references from Pinterest and just literally insert whatever OC it is. But of course, I'll change up the post slightly here and there. I actually liked how the anatomy turned out on this one and the subtle foreshortening I was able to introduce in the piece. And apparently others did too because I got 63 likes on this one. And I reached 164 non-followers, which was huge. And I went into my next detail while I was pretty confident, which was Liam Al, who is probably my favorite artist here, you know, after QT Cosmo. And with this piece, I decided to go back to my roots of a dynamic action pose, but I wanted to keep it subtle. I also added a subtle diffuse light because I've recently been inspired by pieces that have subtle light, and it came out pretty great if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, it didn't perform that well, only getting 25 likes and only be seen by 22 non-followers, which is a little worse than my usual post, but whatever, it happened, we move on. Next was a small artist on the rise, rapidly growing, so I thought I would try to catch some of that wave, which was Sayora, who probably had the best OC yet to draw. I was excited for this piece. This piece was pretty difficult because the main focus of it was the face, and I struggle with drawing faces. Extreme perspective I was going for didn't help either, because stylized faces are even harder to draw in extreme perspectives. Surprisingly, it came out pretty great. I got 47 likes. I only reached 31 non-followers. Next was another awesome artist, Lauren Illustrated, who was the third biggest artist on this list. And at this point, I was getting pretty tired and my style was becoming inconsistent. I didn't really care and went completely anime face on this one because I felt like it. But in the end, I didn't really like it because to me, it felt like a cheap ripoff of something. As for how it performed, actually entered a extra challenge that wasn't a draw this in your style challenge, a redesign challenge. Design any character using 2 or 3 blindly picked words. I actually had the chance of being reposted and recognized by people in the industry, so I participated. Who knew? Maybe I could land a job or few. I'll stop. The character I chose to redesign was Marceline, and let me tell you, designing is actually way harder than it looks. But in the end, the challenge was pretty fun, and I think it came out great. I think this one was my personal favorite out of all of them. I got 22 likes and only reached 18 non-followers. Another flop, but after this, I called it quits, and that was the end of the challenge. After this whole experiment, here's some advice from what I concluded. First off, use the D2I share account to find who's hosting Draw This in Your Style challenges. Secondly, you can get a lot of likes, but followers are still pretty hard to convert. So try to have a consistent style, which I don't have. So that way people are more likely to follow you after seeing your entry. Thirdly, look at the rest of your competition is doing and try to stand out in one way or the other. Is it worth all the effort? Probably not. Which is why you should only enter the ones you really want to join. And then just go try hard on that one piece. Which is what this guy did. And he won the Raw Straws Draw This in Your Style challenge. And yes, sadly I didn't win Raw Straws Draw This in Your Style challenge. Or get in the honorable mentions. Or even get a like from him. Just know I'm going on my anime villain mode training arc after this defeat. I'm taking you down, Master.
Oh my God! Ah!